Pelosi versus MNUCHIN. The most ironic show on a 4-hour programming block. Yesterday, the president said, MNUCHIN, don't talk to Pelosi anymore. That was in the middle of the day. Then by the end of the day, the president's like, Nancy, are you hearing me? I want to talk to you. Then by the end of the evening, he's like, Steve MNUCHIN, can you go talk to Nancy about some stuff now? It's just don't talk, do talk, don't talk, do talk. So just when I thought this show was this recording was no longer going to be relevant on this channel, they're talking. I mean, they're not walking and they're not working, but they're talking, and hence here we go, another round of Pelosi versus MNUCHIN. So what is Pelosi and MNUCHIN talking about? If they weren't supposed to talk, then they were told to talk, then they were not supposed to talk about something, but they're talking about something now. You see why this government's so messed up. Go to Brother's channel and subscribe, because the Hot Mess Express is about to leave in about 10 minutes, and I hope you join the train that is driving down the street and going to crush the virus. And also like this video. Exciting is sort of a euphemism. Exciting, interesting, and sort of troubling developments in Nancy Pelosi and Steve MNUCHIN's love affair for not giving you stimulus today, as the parties actually spoke. So in this video, I'll be going over what they spoke about, why they didn't speak about other things, what the president's real position is about them speaking, and what could happen tomorrow, or, even by the time of this recording, everything could totally change. This is the breaking details this afternoon. Yesterday, the president said, I'm ending stimulus chats between Steve MNUCHIN and Nancy Pelosi. And no less than 2 hours later, after the stock market crashed, he had Steve MNUCHIN call up Nancy Pelosi. It's just can't make up their minds, can they? This first tweet caused a little bit of confusion for some viewers. For most viewers, it did not. As soon as viewers saw that first tweet that said, I'm ending stimulus negotiations for a legislative bill, most of the Purple Power understood that that is not ending executive orders. It's just ending negotiations for a bill that would go into Congress. And so most of the viewers of this channel called Purple Power, the Purple Power family, understood that doesn't cancel out the possibility for executive orders. There was some people that did get that comment confused, so let me respond to them. I have seen some comments in the last 24 hours where people said, well, the president said no stimulus until after October 21st or October 19th, or after the election. No, the president did not say that. The president did not say no stimulus until after the election. The president just said he's not doing stimulus negotiations for purposes of legislative action until after the election. If you've been a viewer of this channel for a while, which I hope you have, we're trying to get to 290,000 subscribers, so join aboard the Hot Mess Express. The president had said that he wants you to have your stimulus. And so this channel had been focused on two paths, even before yesterday: executive orders and legislative approval. And executive orders are still there. And so Purple Power was on full force on the internet yesterday, pushing for executive orders. Then out of nowhere, Steve and Nancy started talking again. Now, let me explain to you what they're doing and what they're talking about. They're not doing much work. They're not negotiating. They're chatting. So let's be very frank. They're calling up and chatting a few words, and that's the scope of their work. Now, ironic, and I'm not being shady or facetious or trying to pull a joke, but they were not doing much of that, much beyond that, for the last 3 days prior. The big progress came somewhere around last Friday, where they were modifying things. They were modifying language. They were modifying numbers. She fully admitted that he had given more money for certain, things that don't concern us, and that there was some progress. But it was not major progress. He was at 1.7 trillion. She was at 2.2, and she was still at the same number she's been at since July. And for purposes of FPUC and all the important things like check, he was not moved either. So there was no big, massive movement. They were $500 billion apart. The president yesterday said, enough is enough. Just stop it. I'm just tired of it all. It's just no more negotiating. the Wall Street crash. They're like, that's not sufficient, Mr. President. You need to keep on working. Okay, I'll keep on working. Nancy, respond to my tweets. Of course, she did not. And then he's like, well, Steve, call up Nancy. And there came the ridiculousness. I can't say this with a straight face, but not generally, specifically what happened. Steve called up Nancy Pelosi because the president ordered him to call her up after he said don't talk to her anymore. And he said, Nancy, president wants to know what's the status, and I don't remember. What's the status with the airlines? Why can't we do a standalone bill? Nancy responds by, we did have a standalone bill. You rejected it. You didn't want it. Oh, really? Nancy said the last thing we had was a standalone bill, Steve, and you didn't want it. Oh, I don't remember that. I sort of want to insert in there the line, but I'm a cow, that's why I don't recall anything. It's just... Needless to say, the viewers of this channel understand better what happened with the stimulus negotiations than this negotiator in the stimulus room. Boy. And certainly I'm not going to go in incredible detail with the airlines, but here's how ridiculous the situation is. Steve Mnuchin can't even remember what he said himself about his airlines over the last 7 days. Last week, he said on a Monday to CNBC, would you do a standalone bill for the airlines? No, of course not. Absolutely not. Airlines must be part of the stimulus package. Nancy was asked on last Monday, would you do a standalone bill for the airlines? Absolutely not. We're not doing that. That was at the time in which Susan Collins, that wonderful, that senator from, somewhere, and her wonderful Senator Wicker had introduced a standalone bill for the airlines, and Steve and Nancy said, oh, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Well, by the end of the week, on Thursday, President Trump's press secretary, right at the time, she's getting COVID at that time, said, would you do standalone bill for airlines? She said, oh, of course, yeah, we would do that. And we might even do executive order. Everyone's like, well, Stephen said that all last week, no. I said earlier this week, no. So then by Friday, Nancy was asked the same question. She's like, yeah, I think I'll do a standalone bill for the airline. And did they do one? No, of course not. Did Mitch do one? No, he's closed. Don't come to Mitch. Don't be asking anything. It's that type of craziness that you wonder why Steve and Nancy couldn't get anything done and why they're still chatting and don't even know what they did last week. Needless to say, this is the head of Treasury, Steve Mnuchin. He's supposed to be able to keep track of numbers. He can't keep track of that. The real important issue that came up today and yesterday is this unused CARES Act 1 money, which I'm not going to go a lot into because it's a little strange. But remember that $150 billion that is sitting and staying local that you can go get, that I detail in every video, that is the use or lose, that is all that grant money that's sitting around that cities and counties are now spending on people with rent and stimulus and hazard pay and all that and food. Go get that. But there's another cluster F money out there, which is unused first stimulus money as well. And I've been detailing that for weeks, and I said it was about $200 billion. Well, overnight, the president confirmed my reporting. He said, yeah, there's about $160 billion unaccounted for that is unused from CARES Act 1, Nancy. Let's rededicate that money. Okay. Told you there's money sitting around. Told you the president wants to repurpose the money. Told you that Larry Kudlow used my exact word of repurposing the money. And told you it was unused from CARES Act 1. I've been saying it's probably from PPP. We know that because there's been reports about how much unused money is. So why doesn't the president push it for Purple Power? Why doesn't the president repurpose the money by executive order for Purple Power? This is where you got to refocus, because ultimately You got to assume that Steve Mnuchin, who's not doing much of anything now, may see your tweets finally. He may see your tweets and understand Purple Power is saying, hey, repurpose that unused CARES Act 1 money for LWA 2.0. Repurpose it for stimulus checks. Let's do it. We've done it before. Who's going to challenge it? Do it now. And with that, that's really one of the best elements of great news we've seen in the last 24 hours, that there's exactly the amount of money that I've been reporting for you that's sitting around that can be repurposed for executive orders, should be repurposed for executive orders. And while Steve and Nancy may like to chat, let's stop the chatting and repurpose the money, folks. All right, let's get to some of your 828 questions from yesterday and comments. April, the ship is sinking and no one's going to save us. Michelle, listen, you need to instigate a major protest. Pick a date, tell everyone to protest, and let's pick a date and place. Your local mall, the town hall, in front of courthouse. Pick a place, every town. Get everyone protesting our money or our decision. Okay, maybe we should. I like that. Denise, delay is not denial. Lisa, I saw that coming, all about the freaking election. Some of them will find out. Kelly, Trump will lose votes if he does not sign executive orders. Sandy, good evening, LALATE and Purple Power family. God bless and the American people. Bridge G, what's up, Purple Power family? Let's take the fight to Trump. Get him to give us his executive order checks. Otherwise, it may go to the airlines. That's actually a very good point. LA just followed you on Twitter, even though been watching your channel since June. Thank you for the Hot Mess Express. I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. And thank you for following on Twitter. Gary Thompson, does the president think that this move will help him get reelected? They have ran us around this long. Does anyone think voting for him will get any kind of bill if he's reelected? Might get a joke of a bill. All he's saying is, who cares about the American people? Very well said, Gary Thompson. Subraya, does the president still have the unused $300 billion plus $250 to repurpose for executive order? Yes. This is a viewer that listens to me. Yes, he has the $300 billion he identified on a Friday, was it 5 weeks ago now? And he has the $250, which I've been reporting for several weeks now. He identified overnight as at $160. So maybe I'm about $90 billion overpriced, but he has that money. Absolutely. William Morris, Talk. Connie, they are really displaying how they're using money as the root of all evil. Eugene, Trump sounds exactly like Hoover during the Depression. Gregory, if Trump wants to gain people in the polls, he needs to get more stimulus. I've been saying that every single day for weeks. I just don't know what he's doing. Jill, I appreciate what you're doing is trying so far using your platform to allow us to share information, helping others. You're a good egg. Well, I appreciate that. Cooking with V, for the first time in my adult life, I'll be voting for this ridiculousness. They're playing with our lives and livelihood. LA, tears running down my face. Don't cry. Chuck Eggers, I'm no longer Republican or Democrat. I'm now anti-incumbent. Amen. Welcome to the family, Chuck Eggers. I'm going to go down the list and vote anybody that is seated from dog catcher to president. They're getting my vote against them. I love that. Amy Stewart, we're all suffering. Canada's more organized. Southern Belle. Vicky, remember who's bringing down the House of Cards now? Jenny McMila. They all need to be voted out. Amen. Every incumbent needs to be voted out. It's Bjorn. You're doing a great job. Never promising anything. Just reporting facts, twists and turns. Keep it up, brother. Amen. Thank you. Kaylee Carlina. I just thought Trump is not going to let the stock market keep tumbling. That would be a death sentence. Well, that's what I covered earlier today. Please watch the videos right before this on Afternoons LA, where I talk about the bifurcated section of the economy and how Trump is only focusing on big government, a big business like Target, Walmart, Home Depot, and Lowe's, and hoping those stocks go up because they're not impacted by the situation and that they don't need stimulus, and that he's focusing on them and not us. Daniel Davis, blowing up the president's Twitter account. Colleen Thomas, I commented on Trump's official post on Facebook. Diana, Trump left us too, so how does he expect to win the election? Or maybe it's still enough time and don't care to get reelected. It's not enough time for him. The stimulus won't come in our hands by the time we vote. Anthony, check out the latest tweets. He's setting something up. So at this point, the tweets, this is 18 hours ago. By this time, the comments were coming in after he was talking about the airlines, I think. Ron, I knew they were not giving us stimulus. Kim, I give up on government. Dina, remember all this when you vote. Vote them all out. Amen. Stimulus, seats for stimulus. Vote out every incumbent. Sherry, I feel like I'm living in a history book with no Robin Hood in sight. Well, I'm not dressed as one, but you know. Sandra Barbara, I'm just shocked. Tina Brown, we really do not need our money. She needs to be gone, all of them. There's a risk in everything, so be prepared for the up and down. I love that. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns. You know, this is a president who seems to change by the hour. Nancy has a lot of opinions, and you know, Steve MNUCHIN is in the Windows protection plan at the moment. So go to the front channel, subscribe, because who is here for you every minute and every day. Also like this video. As always, stay informed, stay in focus, stay motivated, and stay smiling. Coming up is Evenings LALATE. Have a great afternoon, and see you later tonight.